small story will explain how we emit what we think. Once the Pandaripuram, you know the Pandaripuram, the place of Krishna. Once the devotee, Das of Krishna, was going towards the Pandari village. And the village there was a fight between two women. They were making the cow dung cakes. Somehow, for some reason, it got mixed. The two ladies were fighting which is yours and which is mine. One lady was the Krishna Bhakta. She used to make the cow dung cake, chanting the Krishna's name. When this devotee crossed that village and saw the fight, he asked those both women, what is the problem? They both explained that this is the problem. We do not know which is mine, which is hers. Then she explained, you see, whenever I make cow dung cake, I chant the name of Krishna and do that. Then he picked up each and every cake and put that on his ears and separated it. It seems the story says, whenever you chant the divine name and do the work, that represent, the vibrations are stored in that. Whatever you do, now the research people who work on these psychosomatic diseases, they say, if your wife is angry on you, don't eat the food which is cooked by her. So they say, really?
Why is it?
No, because she not only cooks the ingredients, she cooks the thoughts also. Don't think she's adding only the salt or masala. She's adding her thoughts also. If she's angry on you, if you eat that food, 15 days is enough to have ulcer. It's not, I'm sorry to say, I'm not telling this. The people who do research on this field, they say 15 days is enough to have ulcer. Because she's not only cooking the food, she's cooking the thoughts also. If you read the books of Ramanuja, he says one beautiful word, how the food is getting disturbed. He says the three doshas. In the three dosha, the third dosha is, one is jati dosha, nimitta dosha, ashraya dosha. Jati dosha means by very quality the food is contaminated. The onion, garlic. There are 2-3 things which are toxins, which are natural steroids, which can be used as a medicine. The garlic and all is a good medicine, but not a food. As a regular food, you cannot have it. The steroid, natural steroids. So that's one thing, jati dosha. The next thing is nimitta dosha. Nimitta dosha means if a hair has fallen on that, if a dust has fallen on that, if it is become too cold. These are the nimitta doshas. Due to some reason, the food is spoiled. Food cannot be taken. The third thing which he says, ashraya dosha. The person who touches that food, person who handles that food, he leaves the imprint of his thought on that food. These are no more needs to be believed. They all become proved facts. That is the reason in India, they will always tell the cook should be made to take bath and come to the shrine. He should be asked to do puja or to do some divine service. Then you should go for cooking. You should cook with divine thoughts. You should cook with the godly thoughts, with the good thoughts, so that the food will also have the good thoughts, and whomsoever eats that will have a good feeling. Ashraya dosha. Whatever you do, you express your thoughts, your manipuraga. If the manipuraga is poisoned, whatever you do, whether you look at the flower, or you look at the tree, you look at the child, you are drinking water, or you are giving water, anything you do will have a coat of the manipuraga. That is the reason you can see the people being violent. Even if you get them a flower, they will be just plucking the petals of the flower. Flower is so beautiful. If you don't pluck from the tree at all, that's the best thing. God is everywhere. If you don't pluck, that is a beautiful thing. Even if you pluck and put it on the form of the God, it's okay. But you can see people sitting and just plucking the petals. Unconscious violence. Violence means not the taking the gun and shooting the other. That is not only the thing which expresses the violence. Even shouting at the other, looking violently or misbehaving. What to? Not only misbehaving with others, even misbehaving with yourself, not keeping yourself clean is also a sort of violence. It's also a form of violence. So, when the Manipuraka is disturbed, when the Manipuraka is contaminated, when the Manipuraka is poisoned by the words which continuously irritates you, then Manipuraka is disturbed. It becomes sort of setup. The words which continuously feels shrunken, gives you a shrunken feeling, which irritates you. If it is continuously getting repeated in you, that is what is called as hori. Even if you don't want, it will continuously be repeated. You can't stop it. It will be continuously, automatically repeated. You see, you have two types of talking. One is monologue. Monologue means talking to the dialogue. Dialogue means talking to the others, talking to the next person. The other one is monologue, talking to yourself. You have two types of talking. Do you understand? In these two, you do some one thing continuously. Either you talk with the other or you talk with yourselves. Except the time of deep sleep, throughout your wakeful state and the dream state, you do this to someone of these two. Either talking to the other or talking to yourself. Either dialogue or monologue. The chattering, you can call the right word, the inner chattering. The inner chattering is the thing which keeps you continuously heavy. If you know how to switch off even for a moment the inner chattering, you will feel so much of regeneration, so much of life energy, so much of energy overflowing through you. You will not need any sleep or any other forms of rest. You will feel continuously you are regenerated. See, for example, I can say, you have got a new car. You got into the car, you have started it, you have just went for a drive, you are going in the highway. After some time, your house has come. You want to stop it in front of your portico. As soon as your portico has come, if you can stop the car, you are driving the car. If you are not able to stop the car, what it means? Car is driving you. If you are able to stop the car, you are driving the car. If you are not able to stop the car is driving you. The same way, you have started your mind. You have started the inner chattering. You are using it. Whenever you want, you think, you do whatever you want, you do. But when you want to stop and relax for a few minutes, if you can't stop, what it means?
The thoughts are taken out.
You are not having the mind. Mind is having you. Be very clear. You are not enjoying the food. Food is enjoying you. You are not enjoying the world. World is enjoying you. If you can stop, rest and relax when you want, you are driving. If you can't rest, if you can't switch off when you want, what it means? That is driving you. Just the same way, we think again and again. Many people come and ask me, Swamiji, you mean to say we should not enjoy this world? No. Enjoy completely, thoroughly. But you enjoy. Just in Chicago meeting, somebody asked me, Swamiji, do you teach us renunciation? Do you mean to say that we should not have our comforts? I told, no, not at all. Have all the comforts, but you enjoy, instead of comforts enjoying you. If you know the technique of how to switch off and how to relax, at least for a moment, at least for a minute, you are enjoying everything. If you don't know, if you can't switch off even for a moment, even for a shana, it means what? You are being enjoyed. If you know the technique of enjoying, the technique of switching off, you know the knack of enjoyment, how to enjoy it. how to ultimately enjoy it. Otherwise, whatever is happening is happening. You are not enjoying. You are just being enjoyed. But you have the wrong notion, wrong idea that you are enjoying it. One man, when I went to have devotee's house, I went for Pada Puja. I saw a beautiful note in the entrance. I am the boss of this house. I have my wife's permission to say so. I am the boss of this house. I have my wife's permission to say so. You think you are enjoying, but you have a permission to say so. That's all. Nothing else. If you can't switch off, what it means? You think you are a boss. You have the permission of your boss to say so. Nothing else. So, if we know how to switch off, at least for a moment, for a minute, you will know how to enjoy it. When you know how to live, then only you know how to live. Unless you know how to live, you will not know how to live. Now we will enter into the technique to switch off for at least for a kshana. A small technique, a very powerful technique. If you listen the instruction, you will feel that we are going to become mad. But we are mad already inside. Only one compound this side or that side. See, we think all the mad people are put inside the asylum and big compound is built. And people inside the asylum, they think all the mad people are left outside and the big compound is built. No other difference. If you just watch your mind for 5 minutes, you will understand what big mad asylum is going inside. What big mad camp is running inside. The thoughts which has no connection at all. Which has no connection at all. Something here, something about New York, suddenly something about Chicago, something about your business, and suddenly Hyderabad. And nothing has any connection, nothing has any relationship. Suddenly you think of your son, and suddenly somewhere you want, one thought is coming, you want to have pizza. And here somewhere you want to go for America, you want to go for Hyderabad. The thoughts have no connection. You think, after putting everything together, you think that you have something called mind. But you see, if you see the individual thought link, you can see there is no link at all. It is just a mad asylum going inside. That is the reason we feel so much of heaviness in the stomach. Always, 24 hours you can see whether you ate or not, whether you have slept or not, whatever you do, even if your stomach is empty, you can feel the heaviness. You may not have taken any food, but the heaviness will always be there because the Manipura guy is heavy.